What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Real Estate. Today, I got two special guests. Normally we only do one, but I got two special guests. My two mentees from New York City. My mentee to my right, Chad, he was one of the first people that signed up for my mentorship 2 years ago. He was one of the 4 people that signed up. He loved the results that he got. He went back to New York, told everybody. So I got a whole bunch of people from New York in the mentorship, but he brought one of his best friends back, Andre. Andre came, seeing that it was real. He joined the mentorship. So we just gonna get into, how they found me, what made them interested in Cleveland, and just to share their personal stories. Chad, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Chad from New York, Queens, Jamaica, Queens.
Andre.
My name is Andre. I'm from Queens, New York.
All right. So, Chad, what made you start looking at the city of Cleveland to invest in real estate, and you live in New York? Why you didn't look for properties in New York?
Okay. Why I didn't look for properties in New York? Because I had cash and I wanted to own something outright where I didn't have to keep paying a mortgage. And then pretty much Cleveland market, Cleveland, Detroit, and what's the other market I was looking at? Cleveland, Detroit, and Connecticut. All had similar cash flow. You buy the property cash, the numbers made sense. So I just gave a shot to Cleveland first, and I drove out here on my own, and me and Dre, and we was looking to partner on a deal, and then that's what we just picked Cleveland as the first state, because the other 2 states didn't really I don't know, it just didn't click with us. CT was too much wood. Cleveland was everything's close, we could bounce around here and there. And then we seen the potential. It's a lot of opportunity here. Detroit is another opportunity, but it's further. It's a longer drive. This is 6 hour 45 minutes.
Okay, so what made you pick real estate as a vehicle to make money in?
What made me pick real estate is because one, I'm an entrepreneur. So I realized that being an entrepreneur, there's no 401ks and nothing like that. So you have to accumulate assets to actually, when I get older in age, I'll be able to live how I live when I'm younger. So that made me more interested in real estate and stocks. But real estate was the more safer bet because you're paying value over time. So that's what made me more interested in real estate.
How did you find me?
I found you on Instagram at first, and then Ransom Gems. Well, it was together at the same time because he was on Ransom Gems, and then I followed Earn Your Leisure, I think, or was it? It was Earn Your Leisure, and they put me on the MG Mortgage Guide, and he was on his show, and he gave a speech about Cleveland, and we was already looking at Cleveland, but we didn't have anybody, we didn't have no guidance or anything. We were dealing with a realtor, so it was the same time. I was like, this is a sign. So I followed you on Instagram, and I seen you was having a training. I was I already come to Cleveland on my own, looking on my own, unguided, listening to a realtor. So then I took the chance and we vibed, and then I wanted more information.
How did you come to Cleveland? How did you come into play?
Well, me and Chad, we was in the group chat, so it was either, as he said, it was Cleveland, Connecticut, or Detroit. My top 2 was Detroit or Cleveland, and then we chose to come to Cleveland first. We was gonna go to Detroit, but we wanted to physically come to the state, to get the vibe and stuff. So we chose Cleveland first. We linked up with a realtor. Showed us around. Bought my 2 properties in Cleveland, and sorry.
That's all right. So you bought 2 properties before you met me, right?
Yes, I bought 2 properties before I met you. I just was eager to buy a property. So yeah, I brought my 2 properties through the realtor. Both properties had bad foundation. I didn't care still. I just thought it was a 1, 2, 3 fix.
Oh, so you knew the foundation was bad before you bought the properties?
Well, no, I didn't know the foundation was bad. I found out when Chad took the class and Chad was feeding me the info. So when Chad was feeding me the info, I was like, damn, I messed up. Like I knew I messed up. So that's when I took your class because I wanted to get the information myself because, you know, everybody, we learn, we taking information differently. So I was like, you know, I'm going to join the class. When I joined the infield training, and then that's when I realized, like, damn, like I messed up on the 2 properties that I bought.
Got it. So how long y'all been knowing each other?
So interesting.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
2 decades.
2 decades, yes. Elementary school.
What did you do before real estate?
Well, let's say I was doing stock market. I was into the stock market. Before that, hold on.
No, we ain't holding up. We ain't cutting no more.
Yeah, what was you doing, bro?
Hold on. You can't say it on camera.
Nah, so I was in the streets.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, before let's say I was in the streets.
Okay.
I knew that life was no longer for me. So that's why I took the leap of faith and bought the 2 properties in Cleveland. Like, so I bought them before Chad was nervous, so I bought them before Chad. And then me and Chad was actually supposed to partner, but Chad was doing too much thinking. So like I'm a risk taker, so I'm gonna take the risk. So I took the risk, bought the 2 properties, took beyond class, realized like damn, the foundation is messed up. And I still tried to move forward with fixing it, but that didn't work because I didn't have the proper structure on how to rehab a property from A to Z. So I was taking like Z, doing like G, like, you know, it just wasn't in order. So like, yeah, those properties was just no good.
Okay. What did you do before real estate, stocks? I'm trying to think of anything else legal that you're gonna say. Before you got legal, what did you?
I'm a broker, bro. I sell cars.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much I'm a broker. I sell cars. So the money I make from the cars, before I used to like squander it and go into clubs and parties and stuff. But now I've been like quartering it, allocated it more to like asset buying stuff and investments and stuff. Courtesy of Beyond's mentorship. Because before I was just spending money. I didn't really think it was like he said, I think too much sometimes. So like I thought like having one property was good, then having another property was good. And then like I realized like, yo, you can just keep going and expand. So I was getting content. And then hanging around Beyond, you know, like I realized like I don't need to be content because I'm in a position to keep going. So yeah.
Before we met, what was your real estate focus? What was your strategy? Like what would you?
I was buying and holding, so I currently have a property in New York that I bought subject to. That's a buy and hold. That's ran positive cash flow. And then I bought, so that's my intentions coming into Cleveland. Like, oh, I'm buying this house free. I don't got a mortgage. All right, let's do it. And then, so that was my intent in Cleveland. But later, like I realized like I could really scale with the money I put into the house because you could keep flipping and keep flipping and keep flipping it and grow your back.
So today, right now, what's your favorite strategy?
So my strategy I'm developing now that I'm moving forward with, every 2 flips I'm gonna do a buy and hold. So I'm gonna flip, buy and hold, flip, buy and hold. I'm gonna do a different type of buy and hold though. I'm gonna buy like, you know, the auction properties, and I'm gonna take my time and like I'm gonna treat it like a car. Like I'm comparing it to cars because like that's what I know. Right. So like I'm like I look at it like I'm buying a crash car and I'm taking my time fixing it and selling it with a clean title, selling it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. So
okay. Before we met, what was your real estate strategy? Before we met, what was your strategy?
My strategy always been buy and flip. I always was into just, you know, putting my money into something and getting a return.
Is that because you was addicted to flipping stuff, like selling, like the illegal stuff?
Yeah, somewhat you can call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, real estate, it kind of remind me of the streets. So it's just like, and I always, like other people that's wealthy or always rich, like they always had some type of real estate in their portfolio. Like that brought them to the wealth. So it was just like, I knew I wanted to do that. But yeah, before I met you, like I always wanted to flip, and then taking your class and the mentorship, I learned that it was more than one way out than just flipping. Cause like, you know, you can flip and you have the bread, but then it's like you could park some of the money into a buy and hold, where you're getting a passive income every month.
And you own it free and clear.
Yeah, and you own it free and clear.
Yeah. That's the best part about it. That's the best part about this market. You have the capital, you can own it free and clear, and then you can keep flipping. Yeah, this market is pretty, I like it. It's a good pick.
So why not use debt? Everybody say like rich people use debt, so why not do what they say the rich people do? They say Rockefeller, they name all these big names and they say this is the strategy that you should use. So why don't you use that strategy?
Nah, so that it could be good and bad, but I feel like ain't nothing better than having liquid. Liquid, you're able to get better opportunities. You could close quicker on certain deals, and like you just don't gotta deal with the hassle with lenders on waiting on your draws, and you just able to move freely with liquid. But if you are good at managing debt, you could use a lender 2-3 flips. Because you do 2-3 flips, retail flips in Cleveland, you can easily make like 100 plus, and then now you have the liquid, and then you don't really have to use a lender anymore. But I prefer the liquid way. Like it's just quicker, easier. If Beyond was to bring a deal and it's on the table, the person who has the liquid gonna have the better opportunity than I gotta go get a lender, and you gotta deal with all the documents. So liquid is definitely the best way to go.
Unless you're doing like creative financing, it'll be like quicker.
We can't hear you.
I said unless you're doing creative financing, like if you get like I'm not saying do this, but if you get like 2 personal loans, then you can buy the property quicker than waiting on the bank, like trying to go to a lender or something like that. So you could be liquid that way too.
So you just finished your first fix and flip, retail flip here in Cleveland. What was your biggest lesson doing the fix and flip?
I think my biggest lesson was patience. It's not an overnight process. Some people, try to get in the real estate game and think it's a 1, 2, 3 process. But you gotta have some patience and the right mentor behind you to basically back what you're doing.
Okay. So your first property was a buy and hold.
Yeah.
How was you able to manage the rehab on that property, and you live in New York? How you was able? Explain that to us.
Okay. So, I used your team. The contract improvement team to show on, and he made it like easy to work with because he was sending me videos of the job, and then I would drive down every drawer before I paid him, which was in the script that we got because I didn't know that. Like some people just pay the contractor like 50% up front, and then some people pay contractor 50% up front. And some people pay contractor 50% up front, and then they lose the money because the contractor ran home. So I never knew this, going into it. So I gained that experience dealing with a contractor, learning, you're paying drawers when they complete the work, you do a walkthrough. Even when you're finishing the last drawer, you got to do a punch list with them. So it was I learned that experience. So that's what made it easier for me to travel back and forth. I came to every drawer, and I was getting videos as work was being done. Pretty straightforward.
How are you finding properties here in Cleveland?
Honestly, I find them on the MLS. So I have all the alerts for Zillow, Redfin, and as soon as I get an alert, I send it to somebody on your team who does the walkthrough for me. They let me know if the property is good or whatnot, and I just put it in contract from there.
What would be your advice to somebody that's out of state and they want to invest in Cleveland, Ohio? What advice would you give them?
What advice would I give? I would tell them to come out here themselves, to experience it, tour it, see the potential that you could do, learn the zip codes, get a mentor if you don't know anything.
That's number one.
That's definitely number one. And then go from there. Definitely get educated though.
What would be your advice to somebody looking to invest in Cleveland from another state?
My advice is to get a mentor. That's going to be my number one, because before we met Beyond, I didn't have a mentor, and I took over a $50,000 loss. But if I would have met Beyond or a mentor in general that would have guided me on the right path, I would have saved $50,000 loss.
2024, how many properties do you plan to flip, or what dollar amount are you going to make from real estate?
Well, the properties, I'm partnering with Dre, so move forward. He's a shark right now, so we're looking to do 4. We put in like 4 offers this morning, so we should be closing soon and getting another flip going. So he's aiming to do 4 to 5, so I'm with him. That's my man. So we go. So that's what it is.
Dre?
Definitely 6 figures for sure. By January 2025, this my partner, this my man's. Like, I'm guaranteed like 6 figures. We're gonna be making 6 figures by now in January of 2025. And this is a half a year. We did the year. We on a half year, so I basically got 6 to 7 months roughly till January to make 6 figures plus in real estate.
What do you think a major key is to being successful? Not just real estate, but just life.
Life, major key. Always being a student, because you can't think you know everything. Because I used to do that, and that's why he called me hard-headed, and that's why he said I think too much. But I used to
Hold on. The reason why he said I called him hard-headed because he was actually hard fucking headed. I just didn't make that up. I specifically told him how to, evaluate a deal just by looking at pictures online. I showed, my mentees how to look at pictures online and determine if it fits their specific buying criteria, right? So one day he hit me up, or he hit my wife up, because my wife is a real estate agent. Hit my wife up, and he said he was interested in this property. So my wife says, Chad, about him and his girlfriend about to fly up here in a snowstorm to look at this property that don't fit his criteria based upon what you teach. And so she showed me the property. When she showed me the property, I could clearly see just from the exterior pictures that the property needed $15,000 before you even go in the inside of the property. So it definitely didn't fit his buying criteria. So my wife was like, "You gonna let him fly up here in a snowstorm?" I said, "Yes." I'm gonna let him fly up here in a snowstorm, waste his money, because real life lessons are the best teacher. Definitely. And he paid me to teach him. He didn't pay me to handicap him. So I let him fly up here in a snowstorm. I got the video. I'm gonna post it on my social media right after this. I'm gonna post it on my social media so you can see me and Chad and his girlfriend, my wife, standing in about 6 feet of snow in Cleveland, looking at a house, and I look at Chad. Chad look at me. I look at him and I say, "Do this fit your buying criteria?" He look at the house.
Oh man, I was green though. I was green, but I was like, I knew the information, but it was just like, I felt like wifey had to see it too. So I was just like, "Babe, we going." We both was in the store and we both learned, and then now, cause she looked on the MLS and sends me the bills when she sees them, or her and Dre talk. So pretty much, we learned from that experience. I think hands-on is the best teacher for hard-headed people.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm always in the field. That's why I encourage my mentees to be in the field. That's why I do the Cleveland infield training. What better place to learn real estate at than in actual properties? Like, if you're going to be doing properties, if you want to get great at identifying great opportunities, recognizing red flags, making real money in real estate, you need to learn in actual properties. Not listening to this shit that people telling you that, okay, you ain't got to have no hustle, no credit, no money, no resources, no relationships, and you could just sit at home, buy properties, and collect rent. It don't work like that. Most people that take those people's advice, they lose in real estate. My advice is you learn the game hands-on first. Learn how to identify great deals. Learn how to put the rehab budget together yourself. Walk through real properties so you'll get to a place where in 20 minutes you can walk through a property, you can come up with the rehab amount, you can call your realtor because you know the rehab amount, you know the ARV in the area, aka the comps, and you can put your offer in less than an hour. Most people can't do that. Once you put those reps in to learn the game like that, like the back of your hand, be able to identify, if a property fits your criteria just by looking at pictures, then you can run plays from anywhere in the world. Then you can train your team the same way that you've been trained. Before you learn hands-on, you got to depend on other people to guide you. And if you depend on other people to guide you every step of the way, you're going to be sad. You're going to be sad. What better way to empower yourself so you can depend on you? You can depend on your knowledge. So, Andre, what do you think are some of the keys to life? Because a lot of times I think with real estate, people think that it's just real estate strategies that's going to take you to the top, just real estate strategies. But I don't think real estate strategies alone is the thing that's going to take you to the top in life. Like, what do you think are some of the key components to being successful?
I think one of the key components is I think it's mindset. Because I never thought I would have been doing. I never thought I would reach this far in real estate, but like my mindset and my hunger pushed me to move forward. Even with taking a loss with the first 2 properties, majority of people would have gave up after taking such a big loss, but I continued pushing forward. So I feel like mindset has a big part to play with it. Like I just told myself, like, nah, like I'm gonna push it through. I'm gonna push it through because I see the end goal, and I see the end goal to be, financially free, wealthy, So like, yeah, mindset that's like one of my major is mindset.
Why do you think most people, most us, because those only, those people I've been around most of my life, I'm sure you too. Why do you think that we, like most of us, believe that we don't need a mentor?
Because we think we know everything. And I really think it's about your environment too. Like, when you're in the same environment and like everyone is thinking the same and no one's willing to grow, like you're going to be capped at that environment. So like, I encourage people to get out there and meet new people and take a chance on yourself, because like even with the business funding and stuff, like that was like a whole new world to me. And I've been selling cars for like 10 years. And like, yeah, I do business financing and stuff, but like I never even knew like you could even go buy a house with a business like credit card or those type of plays and stuff. So it was just like, it was a whole new world. So that's my takeaway. Like, just be open-minded. You gotta be open-minded and you gotta be patient. So
hey, what's up? As you can see, we had an active job site, right? My whole thing is out in the field. That's what's different about, my podcast and the other podcasts. I didn't want a podcast where we just sitting down in a room, everybody dressed up, looking good, and we talking theory. My idea was to be in actual properties that I own, or properties that my mentees own, or properties that my kids own, doing interviews out in the field. Yeah, so that you hear my contractors in the back walking through. We have Big Mama, aka my 13-unit apartment building, and we almost at the finish line. So those are exterior painters, coming in and out.
It's crazy though, because like people did ask me like, why, when they asked what was your price, they asked like, why did I pay you? And I said, why not? I already took a loss by learning on my own. It's basically like going to school. Like, you paying the colleges all this thousands of dollars. So it's like, why not pay what you asking for? And like, like those same people, like they just like on the sidelines, as you would say, or on the bleachers, they just gonna be watching us run that bag up. Simple.
I can be quick.
Yeah, I gotta make that
I
clear.
mean, I look at it like this. For all my hustlers out there, like sometimes you take a risk and it, like doing something illegal and it doesn't work out, like you're gonna take a risk investing into yourself and learn the information that like you could just keep repeating, and then you could like package it and sell yourself and do the same thing. So like either way is a risk, but I'd rather a risk where I have the information where I can keep on going and learning stuff. Because I literally took the information. I was like, Dre, I know I told you to go partner with you, but this is not what's working. And I gave him the book, showed him the book, and he's looking, he's like, oh man, I ain't heard from him like a week. Then he's like, oh, I'm going to Wynn. Then he said, yeah, I'm going to Wynn the infield training. I was like, all right, bet, I'm going to go there too. And then I went again with him. I went like 3 times or 4 times so far. But and I learn something new every time. So it's like sometimes you just gotta take the risk and invest in yourself. Like
Definitely.
for real.
Take risk and prosper.
Yeah, I thought they was about to say something else, but it's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.